Pick up that jug of laundry detergent sitting next to your washing machine. Look at what you paid for it. $25 for the big one. Now I am going to tell you a thing about what is inside it that the company would rather you never stop to think on. Most of what you just carried home, most of the very weight of that heavy plastic jug, is water. Plain water, dyed blue, with a little soap and a strong perfume stirred in. You paid to have water hauled clear across the country in a plastic bottle, and then you paid again for the bottle itself, and you will pay again next month when it runs dry. My name is Elsie Yoder. I am a plain Amish grandmother here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I have never once bought a jug of that blue water in all my years of keeping a house. I make our wash soap from 3 simple things off the low shelf at any grocery store for about $6, and one batch sees my family through the better part of a year. It has washed work clothes and barn clothes and bed sheets and a house full of children's everything in its time, and it costs pennies a load. Tonight I am going to give you the exact recipe, show you how to make it in about 20 minutes of real work, and tell you honestly what it does well and what it does not. For there are folks who will tell you a homemade soap beats every detergent on the shelf at everything, and that is not so, and I will not tell you a thing that is not true. I am also going to give you the one trick that makes it work right in hard water, the thing most folks are never told, and the very reason some give this a try and quit on it too soon. Stay with me for that part especially. Let me start with what is truly in that jug, for once you have seen it, you cannot unsee it. A bottle of liquid laundry detergent is mostly water. I do not say that to make a point sound bigger than it is. The actual soap, the part that does the cleaning, is a small fraction of what sits in that bottle. The rest is water to carry it, a dye to make it look rich, blue or green, and a fragrance, a strong manufactured smell. And here is the clever part of it, the part that took me a good while to understand. That smell is doing a job, and the job is not cleaning. The job is to make your nose believe the clothes are clean. Think on it honest. When you pull your wash out, and it carries that mountain breeze smell, or whatever name they have given it, your mind says, clean. But you have not measured a thing. You have not tested a thing. You have only smelled a perfume, and your mind has been taught, over years and years of every wash smelling just so, to hear that smell and think clean. The smell is not proof of clean. The smell is a habit trained into you, and it is the costliest part of that bottle. A manufactured fragrance is not cheap, and you are paying for it every single wash, paying good money to perfume water. Now, getting clothes truly clean is not a complicated thing, and it wants none of that. It wants 3 things only: something to break the grip of the grease and the oil so it can lift clean off the cloth. That is the soap itself, something to handle the minerals in your water so the soap can do its proper work. That is your water softener. And something alkaline to help lift the dirt and the oils out of the fibers, which a couple of common minerals do very well. 3 things. Every one of them sits on a low shelf at the store, cheap, with not a word of advertising behind it, and every one has been cleaning clothes since long before there was ever a plastic jug to pour it into. Here are the 3 things you need, and you would do well to write them down. The first is washing soda. Now hear me, washing soda, never baking soda. They are cousins, but they are not the same thing at all. Washing soda is sodium carbonate, and the plain box of it sits in the laundry aisle for about $4 or $5, and one box lasts you a long while. This is your workhorse. When it meets the water, it makes the water alkaline, and that is what loosens the grease and the oils and the dirt and lets them lift free of the cloth. The main cleaner, washing soda. The second is borax, another mineral, dug out of the dry lake beds, and it sits on that very same aisle for about $4 or $5. Borax is your water softener. Now, most of this country has what they call hard water, water thick with dissolved minerals, and hard water fights your soap something fierce. The minerals in the water take hold of the soap and the dirt together and make a kind of scum, and instead of the dirt washing away, you are half rubbing it back into the cloth. Borax handles those minerals, so your soap is left free to do its true work. Without it, in truly hard water, you are near about washing in thin mud. The third is a bar of plain soap, grated fine. Real soap, a plain bar, the simpler the better. I use the plain yellow Fell's Naphtha bar myself, the same as I have told you of before, though a plain Castile bar or any other simple laundry bar will serve. A bar runs you a couple of dollars. You grate it up on the kitchen grater the very same as you would a block of cheese. This is your true soap, the part that takes hold of the grease and lets the water carry it away. One bar does the work of a whole jug's worth of the soap hiding inside the store detergent. That is the whole list. Washing soda, borax, a bar of plain soap. Buy all three, and you have laid out maybe $12 or $13, and you will have the better part of each box left over for your next batch after that. So the true cost of one batch works out to somewhere around $6, and one batch is a great deal of washing. Now I must stop and speak plain about safety, for I always do, and it matters with these two. Washing soda and borax are both strong. They are alkaline, and they will dry and fret your skin if you handle them barehanded for long, and they will sting something terrible should you rub an eye with them still on your fingers. So wear a pair of gloves when you mix them, and keep your hands well away from your face. And here is the important word for those of you with little ones or animals about the house. Borax is not a thing to be eaten. It is a fine laundry mineral, but it is harmful taken into the body, most of all for a child or a pet. So you keep both boxes up high, closed tight, and out of any reach, the same as you would any cleaning thing in your house, used with sense, gloves on, kept up away from the children, and rinsed clean out of the wash. It is safe, and it has served homes for well over 100 years. But you treat it with the respect due a strong thing. Honest is always better than careless. Here is how I make it, and it is about 20 minutes of real work, and then you walk away and let it be. Take your bar of soap and grate it fine on the kitchen grater, about a cup of the grated soap. Put that into a saucepan with a few cups of hot water over a low flame, and stir it slow until every flake melts clean away and it runs smooth as a thin milk. Do not let it come to a boil. You do not want a foam of it, only the soap melted through, and that takes maybe 10 minutes of slow, patient stirring. While that is melting, take a 5-gallon bucket and fill it about halfway with the hottest water your tap will give you. When your soap has gone all to liquid, pour it into the bucket. Then add 1 cup of the washing soda and 1 cup of the borax. Stir it slow with a long wooden spoon a couple of minutes, and you will feel it begin to thicken a touch as it all comes together. Then top the bucket the rest of the way with water. Cold from the tap serves fine, and give it 1 good stir. Put the lid on and leave it be overnight. That is the part you must not rush. By the next morning, the whole bucket will have set up into a soft, thick gel, something like a loose pudding. That gel is your laundry soap, a whole bucket of it, made for a few dollars. To use it, give it a stir, for it will separate some as it stands, and that is only natural. Use somewhere near a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup for a load, scooped right into the machine, less still if your machine is one of the newer high-efficiency kind, which I will come to in a moment. 1 bucket like this sees you through a great many washes. For a full busy household, you make a fresh bucket every couple of months. For a smaller house, 1 bucket goes a long, long way. Now here is the part that decides whether a body loves this soap or tries it once and gives it up entire. It is hard water, and it is the trick most folks are never once told. I said a moment ago that most of this country carries hard water thick with minerals. and that the minerals fight your soap. Borax helps a great deal with that, but in truly hard water, even with the borax in, a soap-built wash can, over time, leave the smallest dullness or stiffness in your clothes and your towels, a faint film of soap and mineral joined together. This, more than any other thing, is the reason a body tries a homemade soap, decides it does not answer, and goes back to the jug. Here is the fix, and it costs you almost nothing. Plain white vinegar, the cheap gallon of it. You put a good half cup in the rinse, in the fabric softener slot of your machine, or simply poured in for the rinse cycle if you have no such slot. The vinegar is an acid, a mild one, and it cuts clean through that mineral and soap scum and rinses it entirely away. It leaves your clothes soft. It is the only fabric softener I have used in all my years, and no, your wash does not come out smelling of vinegar. That smell rinses out complete as it dries. A half cup of vinegar in the rinse is the whole difference between this soap is a wonder and this soap does not work. The very same soap. The vinegar is the secret of it. So there is the whole system. The soap gel in the wash, a splash of white vinegar in the rinse. Cheap, plain, and it does the job asked of it. Now let me be honest with you about what this soap does well, and what it does not, for I will not oversell you a thing. What it does well, your everyday dirt, the sweat, the body oils, the ordinary grime and dust, the plain soil of plain living and plain work, for the everyday wash, and that is the great bulk of what any household ever washes, it gets the clothes clean and fresh for pennies a load. And it is gentle, for there is no manufactured dye in it and no manufactured perfume, and it is far kinder to a tender skin. If you have a little one who breaks out at the store detergent, or somebody in the house whose skin or whose head cannot abide the perfume of it, this plain soap with nothing added is very often a real relief. That is an honest benefit, and I will not pretend otherwise. What it does not do so well, the tough, set-in stain, and the heavy grease. The store detergents carry certain things built in a laboratory on purpose to break down a stubborn stain, blood, grass, deep grease, a baby's mess. This homemade soap carries none of that, and I will not pretend that it does. So for a bad stain, you treat that stain direct before ever it goes in the wash, a dab of the soap rubbed right onto it, or a proper stain treatment, or a good soak, and then wash as you always would. For the everyday load, the soap alone is plenty. For the hard stains, you spot treat first. That is only being honest about the tool in your hand. And one more honest word. For those of you with the newer high-efficiency front-loading machines, the kind that use very little water, this soap is naturally low sudsing, and it will not foam the way the store soap does, which is in fact a good thing, for those machines do not favor a great deal of suds. But two cautions go with it. Use less of it, only a spoonful or two, for those machines draw so little water. And look in your machine's own book, for a few makers say to use only their own approved detergent, and frown on a plain soap. If you use it in one of those anyway, run an empty wash now and again on the hottest setting with a cup of vinegar in it to keep any soap from building up inside the workings. Treated so, it serves well in most of them. But I would sooner tell you to look first than have you void your warranty on my word alone. Now I want to take a moment, for this is the part that matters most. Think on who profits from that jug of blue water. The detergent companies profit, of course, but look closer at the how of it. They sell you a jug that is mostly water and a small measure of soap, at a price that bears almost no relation to what is truly inside it. The dye costs them next to nothing. The fragrance is the dearest part of the whole thing, and it does not clean one stitch. It exists only to train your nose, and the cleverness of it, from where they sit, is that it runs out. Every few weeks you are back at the store, lifting another heavy jug into your cart, paying once more to ship water clear across the country. A thing you must buy again and again forever, is a far better business than a thing you make yourself for $6 a year, and the smell is the very hook that keeps the whole wheel turning. They have spent years teaching a whole country that clean carries one particular manufactured smell, so that plain, clean clothes, the kind with no dirt and no odor and no perfume either, began to feel to folks like not clean enough. Your own nose was made into a salesman working for them, without your ever once being asked. That is not chemistry, that is a habit sold to you and bought back by you every single month of your life. There is no company that profits from a box of washing soda, a box of borax, a bar of plain soap, and a bucket. Nobody can build an advertising budget round it. Nobody can sell you a fresh one every month, for you make it with your own hands, and the boxes last and last. So you were never told, not because it fails to work, for it has worked in homes for well over a century, but because there is no money in teaching a body to do for $6 what they would rather sell for $300 a year. I make my own because my mother did before me, and her mother before her, and because a household that can wash its own clothes for pennies, with 3 plain things off a low shelf, is a household that stands in need of nobody's jug. That is the whole of it. Clean is not a smell you buy. Clean is only dirt, gone. So here is what I would have you do this week. The next time you are at the store, walk past the laundry jugs entire and go down to the low shelf. Get a box of washing soda, mind, not baking soda, washing soda. Get a box of borax. Get a plain bar of soap and get a gallon of plain white vinegar. Under $15 for the whole of it, and most of each box left over for next time. Grate your bar of soap, melt it in a few cups of hot water, stir it into a half bucket of hot water with a cup of washing soda and a cup of borax, top it off, and leave it be overnight. Come morning, you will have a whole bucket of gel that washes your family's clothes for months to come. A scoop for a load, a splash of vinegar in the rinse, and the bad stains spot-treated before ever they go in. Tell me down in the comments, does your water run hard where you live? And have you ever tried making your own wash soap? And if you carry a grandmother's recipe of your own, an old way your own family kept, I would dearly love to hear it. I read every single one, and the old ways you share back with me are the very reason I keep on making these. And come subscribe before you go, for next time I mean to show you how my own father made the bar soap itself, from nothing at all, the old way, with wood ash and a little patience, so that even that plain $2 bar is a thing your own 2 hands could make. It is the natural next step from tonight. Until then, walk on past the blue water, make your own, and remember, the folks who built this country with their own 2 hands knew things we are only just now beginning to remember. God keep you all, and I will see you next time.